right, number one station in the Streetz 94.5. Your girl Jazzy McBee got two special guests in the studio with me. Man, it is going to be so hard to actually talk about this movie without giving away spoilers. Okay, we're talking about Transformers: The Rise of the Beast. You guys had the premiere yesterday. I gotta say, I was raised off of Transformers, so I'm a huge fan. So when this came out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. So we have one of the stars of the movie, Toby
Wigway.
Wigway. Okay.
I ain't gonna let you fall off that cliff. I got you. Come on.
Toby Wigway.
Yeah.
Yes. And Steven, you are the director of the actual movie.
Yeah.
So listen, we definitely we have to talk about it. Right. You coming in, you did Creed 2.
Yes, I did.
And I was like, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But Transformers, both of them were big movies. But Transformers just have so much to be involved. Yeah. So I heard that the movie was maybe like $200 million budget.
$200 million, a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Yeah. It's a
So when they tell you they have a budget that size and tell you like go crazy,
not necessarily. I mean, like, only because like it's 200, but a lot of that goes on screen with in our case, the robots. We had new Transformers, so it took us 2.5 years to make the movie. It's like a year and a half of visual effects. So I've been really close with. So a lot of your money's gone there, right? You have to save some of that for posts and things like that. So you don't really get the whole 200, but it is, it is still special. It's a rare occasion that you get to have, black and brown leads, in front of a film, in front of a camera, 200 mil. So, and myself as well, as a director. So I think blessed to be in that position and have the opportunity. But no, the money gets thin real quick when you start to
man, I'm like 200 million and they tell you go crazy, but that's you saying that wasn't a lot of money.
And you shoot during quarantine. We shot during quarantine, so budget can spike up because now you're running tests, you're taking a precaution. So you can do easily, I'm putting numbers out there, but 10 to 15 off of quarantine.
Seriously?
Itself. Yeah, because it takes a lot to run the whole, especially during COVID, a COVID safe set,
Wow.
But I think also another big majority, we travel across the world.
Yeah.
So we shot in New York, Iceland, Peru, Machu Picchu, Tarapoto, Montreal. It's like you do a lot of traveling. So that
one of the most beautiful places in the world, Peru. Yeah. Toby, this is kind of like your first big movie, and I think you did a great job, man.
Thank you so much. This is my first big. The bigs are true, but just go ahead and put that first. It's just the first movie in general, but it was an amazing thing to be a part of this process with such a major franchise and an immaculate director with phenomenal vision, and he got the ability to just see things through all the way and make sure things are executed the way that he sees them in his mind. And then everybody, it's like I was in Hollywood, but the people weren't Hollywood at all.
Nice. I love it. So how did you get cast for this movie?
Oh, it's a phenomenal question. Stephen Cable Jr., if you would, please.
Okay, if you would, please.
All right, I'm trying to tell a quick version of it. But ultimately, during COVID in 2020, a friend of mine who had passed away, Tyreek Jackson, we call him Reek, had passed away, introduced me to Toby's music.
Wow.
During that era, that window of 2020, he was in his living room, lifting the hearts of the people with his music.
Wow.
And my friend was like, I know your style. I know what you love. You're going to love Toby music. And he was right. So I got introduced to him as an artist first. My friend passed away that year. And then October 5th is the day of his funeral. It was in Brooklyn, New York. So I was already in Brooklyn. And I got a script for Transformers the same exact day, I kid you not, in my inbox when I went back to the hotel after the funeral.
What?
And when I read it, I was in a state of I want to do something uplifting for us, and I want, the main character of the film to be a hero by the end, because I know you saw it last night.
Yes.
Yeah.
But one of the things, they had a friend character in there by the name of Hank, and I was like, I'm going to change it to Reek. And then during the casting process out in Montreal, another friend of mine, Bernie, was like, won't you try giving Toby a shot? What if Toby was the character?
Ain't that crazy?
The connection. And I was like, can he even act? So that was the first question.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Man, you did amazing. So that came full circle for you. And how that actually happened, it's like it just flowed. Because again, you're an artist. Your friend recommends you. You're a fan of his music. And you like, that is a phenomenal story that needs to be told way more. Because I'm like, you did an amazing job. So did you have to take any acting classes?
From not like that. I took acting sessions.
But no classes. So you kind of like a natural.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but I got friends who do it at a very high level. So I talked to Mo Ammer, who after I did Transformers, I was a part of his show for Netflix, which is 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I looked at that. I like it.
Yeah, and then I talked to this is gonna sound crazy. I talked to Justin Timberlake. Yeah.
Justin Timberlake. Yeah. Why'd you talk to him?
Yeah, because that's the homie, and he had remember that movie Out of Time.
I remember it.
Yeah, I thought that was fire. So I called him and said, "Hey, all right, so about acting, like, tell me how to get more involved in my character and blah 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 blah." And he gave me a lot of good information that really helped set me up sweetly for this role.
Man, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah. And it was filmed in Brooklyn, or part of it in Brooklyn, and it was the 90s, right? And so I absolutely forgot about the synopsis, and I said, "Why is the TV so big?"
Come on,
but
come on.
Why is the TV so big? Yeah. So why the 90s?
I think it's one, we don't get to see it much in like on a big screen done this way. So for us, Bumblebee was the movie that took place before ours, and it was the 80s.
Right. Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. The 80s. Then we got early 2000s because the Sam Witwicky and Michael Bay's films, and I was like, but we haven't been in the 90s yet. And Transformers was really hot during the 90s. And it's also when Beast Wars started. So for me, all those elements was like it pointed to that era. And then when diving into it, I just wanted to be really specific and authentic. So to the TV, to the TV playing Juice on the screen, to the music playing with SWV and all these classics. Yeah. I was like, if people are going to go to the movie theaters to watch this, I want it to feel like a time capsule. Yeah. Like just bring up when we were children. I was a kid in the 90s. So bring up that that nostalgia of growing up and adventure in a sense of like all of that. I felt like the 90s could really be that moment. And so we put a lot into it from wardrobe. We reached out to certain people. My wife did wardrobe for this film.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Ain't that incredible?
Look, we putting family on.
Family's definitely on.
I love that. And the black melanated skin that you know, it happens in the movie. I was just so excited. And then y'all had me emotional all in the movie. So I'm like, man, but you were supposed to do Bumblebee 2, but it turned into this. Yeah. And so without saying some things, are we still going to get a Bumblebee 2?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know.
What you mean? You don't know?
I seriously don't know.
You got to know.
Oh, great research, because you're right. It was supposed to be a Bumblebee.
Yes.
That's crazy that you know that. It was.
This is what I do. Was. You feel me?
When I first took the meeting pre-COVID, they were thinking like Bumblebee 2. But I was like, I can't do a Bumblebee 2 because I already did a sequel. You know, so I was like, I'm not doing a Bumblebee 2 because I just came out Creed 2. And I'm like, I ain't want to be the sequel guy. And so, like, when they came back around full circle, it's like, crazy enough, we're not doing a Bumblebee 2, even though it's kind of a takeoff from where we left. We wanted to be something different. We wanted to restructure the project. And so when they brought me on board and bring in Beast Wars, I was like, okay, now I can do this. Like, it's different. So I don't know if they're going to do a Bumblebee 2 because it's more of a smaller project, more intimate. Bumblebee has its own. Yeah. That's saying I don't know. That's meaning, like, I don't know. Like, they can
my baby in the movie.
Easily tomorrow announce a Bumblebee 2 project and, like, you know, make it something special. But in this case, it was like they wanted Transformers. They wanted the big scope. They wanted us traveling all across the world, and they want to introduce different factions. And so I was here to bring the Beast Wars and, you know, other things along with it.
You did an amazing job. So when you talk to some of your bosses, and they see the movie, I'm pretty sure they've seen it. Yeah. What was the response like from them?
My bosses?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I got bosses. Yeah. I never called them that. Yeah, No,
the people that you answer to, because of course you have critics that say, hey,
technically,
we give you this money for the movie.
No,
right?
No.
This is our money, and I want you to do this for the movie.
No, 100%.
But I don't want to downplay you like you're not
at all. No, not at all. I just never actually acknowledged it that way before. You know what I mean? Like, but technically, you're right. They are. You know what I'm saying? I just never was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Now I got a boss, but I ain't really got a boss because I am the boss.
And the reason being because there's so many of them, right?
I know. I saw the credits.
That's the thing. And so like, though they're bosses, like they all have a lot of input. You know, whether it be creatively, whether it be like Hasbro Toys is technically a boss. Yeah. You know, but like for them, because they invented it, they own toy company. But when they look at the movie, they look at it as like, how are we selling toys? So they're happy. Oh, you know, because they got new toys and kids are now connecting with them. And then the studio itself, they're really happy. I think just culturally what we were able to pull off with this film and still blend us with Transformers and make it something fresh.
Yeah.
And that the fact that the responses are, this is different, this one hits different, that they're really excited about it.
Yeah. And you definitely have a brand new character. So going back to the guys who give you the money to make the film.
Yeah.
With all the creative input, does that drive you crazy? Like, man, like you somebody calling from like, you need to do it this way, and the other person, you need to do it that way. Like, how do you handle that type of response from all of those? Because the credits were crazy. They're like 15 EPs, and there's so many, patience, like you said.
I do have a lot of patience.
He really does.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah,
because me, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, it's like I have a lot of patience. I never go crazy unless it's something like truly disrespectful or harming somebody. But beyond that, a lot of patience. I do listen to it because it's my first rodeo on a big, huge. So for me, like if a visual effects supervisor, not my boss, but like someone who's like has more experience, I'll listen to it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? How do you do it? Or if somebody says we did it this way in the other film, I go, why? And if I need to do it again that way, great. If not, if I need to like pave my own direction on how to do it, I'll do it myself. Yeah. But in terms of story stuff, hands on, hands off, I think a lot of it's mythology. Not to get too caught up in it, but like it's a lot of like where do these guys come from? Yeah. And all that design work was a lot of me. Like I designed every single robot in the film.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it was like
That's
RC,
interesting.
RC being like the first female Autobot. I was like, I want to make sure she had
and
curves.
she's sexy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like it's the small stuff that I was like, I want to make sure people feel her presence.
Yeah.
Across the board. So with Hasbro or anything, it'd be like again the color. Like we want purple. We want this.
Okay.
Because we need to sell toys. So those are kind of notes.
Oh, okay.
So that means the car has to be purple. So that means we have to paint the car. Then we have to go. Is that purple hard to get? It's like that kind of stuff.
Oh wow! See, I never knew that about films.
Yeah.
And after seeing this movie, I'm pretty sure that these parents are probably gonna go out and buy these, toys and things. So I guess it does really, really matter. So I do a segment on my show called "What the Hell at 12." Okay. What's a what the hell moment that you guys ever experienced on set? And Toby, you can go first.
So being that this is my first film, I thought I had to memorize all of my lines all at one time, the entire thing, like it was theater. And I got on set, and once I saw how we were shooting it and how you had to go shoot it for different angles for different lines, I was like, oh, what the hell? I thought I had to do all of this all at one time. But so we're just doing this section right here. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, let's get active. This is doable. Now, before I thought this was gonna be just a crazy thing to try to accomplish, but now that you break it into different sections and I can work with these lines, I'm like, oh, okay, this is a beautiful thing.
Love it.
I can do it.
Love it. So that's your what the hell moment. What about you?
My what the hell at 12 moment definitely had to be shooting in Machu Picchu. It's a beautiful location.
Yeah.
And everyone was hyped about like the stuff we were going to capture on set. And
everybody like the cast and
the cast, all of us like visually it's never been on a big screen before.
Right.
So we were that first project. So you had some hiccups when we were shooting the actual scene, like bringing up equipment. But one thing that I didn't realize and no one brought it up was altitude, like how high you were, like in the sky on these big, huge mountains.
Really?
They built the whole city basically right on top of these mountains, and you're like. It's an action sequence, so I had my actors running, and to the point where like, just a few steps of walking, you catch out of breath. I mean, and like Ant almost passing out. Yeah. I had altitude sickness. I was with an IV in my arm. Like no one told us this, and we're on set trying to do an action movie in this high altitude, chewing these things called cocoa leaves. So if y'all go to Peru, you chew these things, these leaves that are basically like. I don't even know what's in it.
But they give you oxygen and stuff like that?
Yeah, it helps you like get through the sort of like sickness and or the altitude itself. Gives you like energy. It's like damn near caffeine in a leaf.
Oh my God. See, man, that is crazy. But I thought it was like special effects or something that you guys were filming like way up, but that was real. That was the real deal. Man, listen. I don't want to give away the film, so I want everyone to see it. We will be talking about it again, and I will go see it again because I was raised up on Transformers, and my nieces and nephews they absolutely love it as well. So congratulations to you guys. Congratulations out to you too, because I know you were nominated for a Grammy too.
Come on.
Earlier this year. So congratulations. I know you like Try Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't try me. That was one of my favorites, but congratulations goes out to you.
Thank you.
How's your wife doing?
Absolutely immaculate.
Did she have the baby yet?
Yeah, we got 4 now.
Y'all got 4 now.
Yeah, 4.
You trying for more?
4 and under. Oh yeah, we got one more round.
One more. Okay. All right. Boy and girl.
I got 2 boys and 2 girls.
So the 5th one, what you want?
Oh, it don't matter. It's a toss up. I promise you. Yeah, I just want a healthy baby.
Okay.
Yeah, healthy babies.
Nice. Love it. What about you? I know you just
had a baby.
I had my first child 7 weeks ago, something like that.
A week apart.
Yeah.
A week apart.
My
nice.
baby girl. Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm gonna take time off to actually spend time with her, man, and like going through those little mini milestones and like moments of her laughing and smiling and gaining her voice.
Love it. Love it. So you, once again, congratulations goes out to you, the family, this big movie that I know probably gonna be billions. Make billions other than the 200 million or more budget.
Come on.
So once again, congratulations, guys. I can't wait for it to come out June 9th, right? In theaters?
June 9th, Transformers Rise of the Beast. Holla at us.
Now, before we leave, I do something else I call midday motivation, something to get you inspired and encouraged. So what's that one motivational message that you go to?
That I go to or that I got?
That you, either one, same
I always tell people, listen, let me tell you something. Die empty. It might sound a little morbid, but it's very, very factual. Die empty. Don't leave no potential on the table. Don't act like tomorrow's promised to you, because it ain't. So do what all you can every single day that you have and maximize your potential.
I love that one.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was along the same lines, but it's also it's shifted now. Now it's a picture. Now it's like a baby girl. That's like
give it to me. She's so cute.
So it is baby girl now in terms of motivating. But before that, I should say the main one would have been just don't be afraid to fail. I always say that just because it's like you wake up every day, and that could be in anything that you do. It's like if you start to put failure in your mind and freeze up, and like you won't accomplish anything. But if you just be like, I'm not afraid of that. We keep thinking about success, but I'm like, think about failure and not caring. And I'll just open the door up to anything else. So, don't be afraid of it.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys so much for coming through. Streetz 94.5, we out.